Iran's parliament has approved a cabinet nomination of a suspected terrorist caught by Interpol for the bombing of a Jewish center 15 years ago. Also, Parliament approved a female minister. So what do these developments actually mean for the future of Iran? I asked CNN's senior Middle East Affairs editor Octavia Nasr earlier.
Very important what's happening in Iran today. The cabinet, as it was proposed by President Ahmadinejad, was approved, minus three people, three positions that are not that crucial. The ones that are crucial were approved, and that sends a clear message to the world that the parliament and now the cabinet are behind President Ahmadinejad. But let's talk about those two that you mentioned. First of all, the defense minister, a person who's wanted in Argentina for his involvement in a bombing at a Jewish center back in 1994. This man right here, Ahmed Vahidi, he is now the defense minister of Iran. And basically, when you think about Iran's position on Israel, when you think about Iran's nuclear ambitions, and this man at the helm, someone who's very controversial, someone who took a lot of time to approve. The parliament was not ready to approve this man, but they finally approved him, and he is now going to be serving as the defense minister of Iran. Well, this alone is sending messages across the Middle East, especially to Israel, saying that Iran, number one, will be very forceful in its pursuit of nuclear ambitions, and then two, that Iran is going to continue in its same stance when it comes to Israel. So definitely they're seeing this as not opening up to the West, not opening up to the pressure of perhaps Iran trying to find a way to deal with those two important issues. The second person, who is, of course, it's a historic appointment for Iran, the first woman to serve as minister in an Iranian cabinet since the establishment of the Islamic Republic of Iran. But the problem with this woman is, people say, her critics are saying, that she doesn't have enough experience in government or in running a hospital, for example. She's a gynecologist, so she is a doctor, and basically she will be heading that ministry, the health ministry. But the problem with her is that she doesn't bring into the table any governmental experience, and critics are saying this. She is one of many who were approved for positions in this cabinet who don't have the experience. Nicole, another appointment that is also raising a lot of questions. The person who used to be the defense minister was approved as the interior minister, and people are saying he doesn't have any. Not this guy. This guy is going to be the defense minister, but the former defense minister in the old cabinet of President Ahmadinejad is now going to be serving as the Minister of Interior. And when you look at the way things are shaping up in Iran, you look at, for example, the defense ministry that will be headed by this man you're looking at, Ahmed Vahidi. You look at the interior ministry that will be headed by a former defense minister. You look at the intelligence ministry, which will be headed by a former head of the Basij. This is the Iranian militia, and you remember how much we heard about the Basijis and what they did during the trouble in Iran after the election, and then you have an idea where the country is heading. As a matter of fact, it is that kind of decision, it is the support that President Ahmadinejad got through parliament with the approval of most of the cabinet positions that led him to this speech. Listen to his rhetoric and pay close attention to how he's speaking with a lot of confidence. Take a listen.
No one can impose sanctions on Iran. Of course, we welcome such a move. Let them impose sanctions on us. We can run our affairs.
So you see, Nicole, now he's saying, let them impose sanctions. No one can impose sanctions. So we're back to that rhetoric. Remember, there was a period of time where President Ahmadinejad was reaching out, was saying that maybe he has an agenda of change, some kind of change, maybe opening up. We were talking about it here on the segment. We discussed it. Well, now with these appointments, with the way the parliament stood behind him, he feels very empowered. And of course, he's coming to the U.S. to address the United Nations next week. And people are saying he comes with a lot of backing from inside his country. So the way the country is going to move forward is going to be very interesting. This is not good news for the reformists. This is not good news for the opposition, but definitely very good news for President Ahmadinejad and, of course, Khamenei and all the leadership of Iran.